This is a presentation of my week number 1 business model canvas. So the inspiration for this week's canvas version, the initial version, is really the idea that public education in the US is really falling behind, and we're having a lot of problems engaging students. So one of my motivations as an educator and instructor at Cogswell, and uh, the additional motivation of my children, is really leading me to look for ways to help in the fixing of our educational system and somehow contributing to that effort. So that drove me to think about how I can leverage my past video game experience and take that into education and hopefully make a living out of doing something like that as well. So I took a lot of my experience from a couple of summers worth of teaching middle schoolers how to make video games at Galileo Learning, and really testing out different ways to engage students and trying different things. And so looking at that effort, I decided to apply that to my summer practicum, and then that kind of led me to my current business model canvas, which is really focused on multi-sided customer segment, and really looking at middle schoolers as the users and their parents as really the actual customers, the paying customers, and really connecting them to the idea of learning how to make video games, and through that learning be able to leverage that into other subjects. So when we talk about video games, we also consider other disciplines such as art, programming, logic, math, and communication skills. And so I thought that would make a lot of sense in terms of a value proposition for middle schoolers. And really, it's to them it's kind of interesting for them to make a video game as opposed to play a video game, which they're normally used to. And then for the parents, the idea is to provide some sort of alternative to just playing video games, because parents are really kind of weary about additional screen time for their children outside of the normal consumption of video games. And so I could advertise this as as a healthier alternative to just playing games, and instead really turning that into making games and being creative and thinking logically. The other thing that I was thinking about was the revenue streams, and considering doing this as a live instruction, very similar to what I did during the summer with Galileo. So figuring out ways to deliver that content in a cost-effective way. So I was thinking of possibly either driving to a customer's place or house, or meeting them at a public library and doing either private lessons or small group lessons where that makes sense. And so I factored in the additional cost of traveling, of using my car to get to these locations, and then I also put Galileo Learning as a potential key partner, because I was thinking of leveraging this experience into proposing an online component to their summer camp activities. So I was thinking of leveraging my relationship with them and seeing if they would be interested in contracting me to deliver online content or live content throughout the year outside of the usual summer schedule. So that kind of sums up the genesis of my initial business model canvas for week 1. Thanks for listening.